Welcome to Vintage Movie Nights. I'm Joe, that's Ryan, and tonight we're doing a movie draft where we spin a wheel, it picks a category, and then we draft the top 5 movies in that category. And I'm excited. Tonight's category is going to be focused on movie actors. So on our category wheel, we have Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Tom Hanks, Vince Vaughn, Tom Cruise, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Jack Black, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Harrison Ford. So we got some A-list actors that we get to pick from. So Ryan, of that list, is there one on there that scares you the most?
I think Vince Vaughn would be a tough one.
Vince Vaughn would be a tough one. I think I would agree. Leonardo DiCaprio is really good and he's done a lot of things, but those are movies that I've never, like, someone's going to say the Titanic and I'm going to have to just disagree. It's not a good movie. So with that, let's spin the wheel and see what movies we're going to be drafting from these actors.
All right.
Here we go. I'm scared. Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me.
No.
Oh, it
no,
made it through.
no.
Yes. Oh, I thought I was hosed. I thought I was toast. I was like, there's no chance. There's no chance I'm going to have to pick up 5 Leonardo DiCaprio movies. Oh my gosh. But instead, we are going to be ranking the top 5 Harrison Ford films. All right, to pick who goes first, we're going to spin another wheel, and that wheel is going to determine who gets to go first. So with that, let's get our wheel ready that we're going to be spinning. We got Joe, the winner, and Ryan, the other guy, on the wheel. Let's see what we got. Keep going, a little further,
All right.
The other guy gets to go first, so, you know,
All right.
the wheel's stupid. It's broken. You're already 2 for 2. You got Harrison Ford, and you get the wheel. Come on.
All right.
So this is going to be a hard one for me. I have a feeling this bodes well for Ryan. This is in his lane, I think, a little more than mine. But with that, let's get started. Ryan, you have the number 1 draft pick in the Harrison Ford category. God help me. Help me.
All right, folks. I think we can all agree that if we had the number 1 pick, you almost have to pick this. I think if you don't pick it as your number 1 choice, I think you're really stupid. So my number 1 pick is, of course, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones, for very obvious reasons. There are some other good Indiana Jones movies, Joe. Come on, you can come back from this.
That was going to be my number 1 pick, of course.
No, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I mean, this has got to be probably the greatest adventure movie ever made, and I use that specific word because it's got action and it's got sort of a sci-fi element to it, but when I pictured that just adventure going on a thrill ride, it's one of Spielberg's best movies, and it's such an iconic character that has been replicated over the years but never equaled, and Harrison Ford, man, he sells it, and just what a fun movie. Yeah, that's my number 1 pick.
Well, I quit. I just quit. That was going to be my... Just kidding. By far, obviously, Raiders of the Lost Ark is clearly the best. And I've scratched it off gonna be my number 1 list. So that leaves me my number 1 pick. And because I don't want you to have 2 action adventure sci-fi movies that he's phenomenal in and that have created giant series in the world, I'm gonna have to take Star Wars Episode 5. Not 4, the second one, which was the best Star Wars there was. The first one was good. The second Star Wars was the best. I'm taking him in Star Wars Episode 5. You know, Star Wars was a phenomenon. So Star Wars is an amazing trilogy. It's also spawned 3 prequels, multiple other designations. It has created an entire park in Disneyland. Much better than just a guy running from a boulder, you know? So that's what I'm going to say about that. Oh, and by the way, if you've ever watched Big Bang Theory, Malima Bellick's character, she says, and it's a great line, Harrison Ford didn't need to even be in Raiders of the Lost Ark 5. The Nazis still find it. Everything still happens exactly as anticipated. He's irrelevant to the whole entire movie. So, but Star Wars Episode 5, he's not irrelevant. He is impressive in that movie.
He gets frozen at the end of it and gets taken away. He doesn't really do anything in the final act. No, that's a great pick because that was going to be my number 2 pick. Specifically, the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. It's a great movie. It's one of the best.
It is the best Star Wars movie.
One of the best. So probably the best Star Wars movie of all of them.
That is a great number 1 pick. That would have been my number 2 pick, and it is the best Star Wars movie. But a very close second to The Empire Strikes Back is Episode 4. So now I got to pick that as my number 2 pick. Still a great movie. I think that The Empire Strikes Back, Harrison Ford in that movie, your number 1 pick, I'm going to credit you on this. His romance with Carrie Fisher in that movie, their back and forth, that is the best thing about him in that movie. He is very heroic in that movie. He's also heroic in the first one. Like, it is a close second. So I wasn't even going to... Because I assumed that you might pick Star Wars or that, you know, whatever. I would get Empire and you would go Star Wars. So we're reversing it. You do have the better Star Wars film. I'm still going to pick Star Wars because he's heroic in that first one where, you know, he just wants to go save her for the money. And then, you know, Luke blows up the Death Star, but he wouldn't have been able to do that if Han didn't come back with his ship and shoot the other.
Oh, yeah. The Millennium Falcon.
So
I mean,
I'll give it to you. You got the better Star Wars movies, but I'm still putting Star Wars on my list, folks. Like, I got to go Episode 4 because he took it. So
you really can't go wrong, honestly. You can't go wrong unless you chose number 6. Unless you chose number 6, you can't go wrong.
Right.
Which, by the way, my next pick. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Right. So yeah, I've got Episode 4, Star Wars: A New Hope, as my number 2 pick. What is your number 2?
My number 2 pick. We're gonna go more serious. We're gonna go with The Fugitive. The Fugitive for me is one of those. It's a phenomenal movie. A man who's trying to clear his name has the world against him. You know, there's the moment where he's in the pipe, right? And it's like he's at the end of his rope, but then he ends up getting away. Just such an amazing movie. And Harrison Ford is so good in The Fugitive. I mean, he is. It's a strong movie. So for me, Fugitive has got to be my number 2 pick. So I'm going with The Fugitive. And The Fugitive also had the other guy in it, and that other person that was in it. And there was a couple other names. That guy,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you. I knew it would come to me. I knew it would come to me in my own head that nobody would help me figure it out. Tommy Lee Jones. So I mean, it's a good movie. It's a great cat and mouse movie. It's and in that era, there was a lot of those types of movies that came out, and he just does such a great job in that movie. So, Fugitive, number 2. I'm not just going to pick all of his action sci-fi movies, you know, like I'm going to go with something new.
You're doing better than I think you thought you would.
Well, it doesn't get much better from here.
I would have picked The Fugitive, of course, but I've got a couple other ones. So you're taking some. Well, I knew you were going to pick a Star Wars movie. I was like hoping I was hoping you wouldn't go for Empire, but you did.
Yeah, so if it was up to me right now, I would have Indiana Jones and Star Wars Episode 5. Like, if it was up to me, those would have been my first 2 picks.
Yeah.
Those for clarity.
I had a feeling that it was either going to be... either one of us would have Episodes 4 and 5 on our list, because one of us would pick it and we'd pick the other one. I wasn't expecting you to go Fugitive. I was hoping you would forget about that or have not seen
Oh
it. To be
no,
honest.
no, Tommy, no,
It's
Tommy
a phenomenal
Lee Jones,
movie.
That
It is a
movie with
phenomenal
Tommy Lee
movie.
was good, very, very good.
Yeah.
And you just feel
Okay,
for
well-
the guy who's like he's desperately trying
You
to
do.
clear his name
Well-
and can't seem to like catch a break. You know?
Yeah, I'm hoping you're going to fall off after this because I can't
I will.
talk against The Fugitive.
No,
What I think Harrison Ford is great in the movie, and that was really what put Tommy Lee Jones on the map. Tommy Lee Jones had been around for a while, but
Yeah.
like that movie, because he starts out as a character that you think is like going to be the villain of the movie, sort of. He's
Right,
like
right.
the evil guy who's going to take him down, but Tommy Lee Jones has such an arc in that movie where he starts to like believe him after a while, you know, and it's like maybe this guy really is innocent, you know, and kind of becomes like they're co-heroes by the end of it. So that's a fine pick, but I hope you fuck it up after this.
I probably will. I only have 3 more written down, so it's gonna get really rough here.
Okay, I am then going to go with another sci-fi movie. One that actually bombed when it first came out, but now it is a classic, and that is Ridley Scott's Blade Runner from 1982. I have seen this movie a number of times. It is very popular. I still don't think I quite understand it. And yet, every time I watch it, I'm like enthralled by it. Like it is so confusing and so detailed as this futuristic man, this Blade Runner, you know, as he's called, navigating this neo-noir world and landscape that Ridley Scott created that is so bizarre, but just so fun to look at. They eventually would do a sequel with Ryan Gosling that was also pretty good. I mean, that could make a good spot, on, you know, if you've seen it and want to steal it. The sequel was pretty good as well. But yeah, this mystery that he's trying to solve in this movie still to me doesn't make a lot of sense, but just the visuals in this movie are just ahead of its time. And there's a reason it's become a classic. And despite all the different cuts, you filmmaker people who are like really into film will know like this movie's been recut like a number of times. I have not seen all the cuts. I think I've just seen the one original one. But this movie reminds me a lot of Dune and the remakes of Dune that they've done recently, which I saw both of those. And I loved the Dune remakes, but I still don't understand them. I'm just like, shit's happening on the screen, and I'm watching it, and it's good, and it's fun to look at. So I am picking Blade Runner from 1982 as my number 3.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad you did because I've never seen it. I wasn't gonna pick it because, but here's the thing: it is historically known as one of Harrison Ford's best performances. In the 30 seconds I had to research this category, like that was the one that shows up as one of the better ones with higher rankings. I have heard of it. I know it's a big deal, but I have not watched it, and it was not going to be on my list. So I'm glad it's on yours because it probably belongs on someone's. For me, my number 3 is
What do you got?
Get Off My Plane. Air Force One, right? I watched Air Force One with my mom and my stepdad and my sister, and I think my stepbrother. We went to we're Hicks. We grew up on a farm. We don't do movies, right? We're Hicks. We don't do that kind of stuff. And we went to the theater, and we actually went and watched Air Force One. And that was a nonstop action ride, man. I mean, that was a good movie. And it has our boy Spencer Garrett in it. So, I mean, hey, you know, that means something to somebody. It means something to Ryan. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else. But either way, Air Force One's a great movie. It rivals with Die Hard, like that constant, like you can't be killed, and he just keeps on coming back and fighting. And I mean, this is the president of the United States. I'd like to see Donald Trump try to do the stuff that he's doing. He can't. Nobody can. Harrison Ford was great in this movie. Air Force One is a phenomenal film. Definitely right there in my list. There are some really good movies he's done. The problem I'm running into right now is I'm picking my movies. I'm going to be completely honest. The problem I'm running into is I don't remember them that well, but Air Force One has stuck with me over the years, probably because I went to the theater with my family. Like, one of 10 movies I've ever seen in the theater, like, when I was a kid, because we were hicks and I didn't do it. So it hung with me. I think Fugitive was one of those too. It hung with me, and Air Force One is my number 3 pick. Get off my plane.
Get off my plane. That's a good Harrison Ford line.
That's right.
Well, since you took The Fugitive away, I was like, okay, I got to have a backup here. I was thinking maybe Air Force One, but you've taken it. But that doesn't matter because I have a very clear number 4. It's number 5 I got to kind of think about now. My number 4 is probably another movie Joe has not seen. But I'm hoping you film buffs out there will help me out with this one. I'm going to go with Witness from 1985. This movie was very well received when it came out. It was 1985, so I saw it later. This is the only movie in which Harrison Ford was nominated for an Academy Award for his acting. His performance in it got nominated. He did not win. He plays a cop in this movie who has to question and sort of protect an Amish mother and her son because the son witnesses, hence the title, a murder. And he sort of goes undercover as an Amishman to protect them because some people might be coming after them. And so you get a, look into the Amish culture, and he kind of gets accepted. And it's a love story between him and the mother, and there is some action. At the end, the bad guys do come for it, and it was nominated for a slew of awards, and really the only time Harrison Ford ever really got recognized by like awards critics and stuff for his acting, because movies like Star Wars and Blade Runner and Indiana Jones and The Fugitive don't really get a lot of like awards attention, like when it comes to acting and that kind of thing. But Witness did, and it's one of his finest performances, and it's a great movie, and so I'm picking Witness as my number 4.
I have seen it, I think.
Okay.
It was one of the many that I was like, there's probably 3 movies that I wrote down that I'm like, I would be scared to have to talk about this. That's the problem. Like, I could be like, I know this was a good movie. I know I've seen it, or I know people have seen it. I know people believe in it. That I would be like, this is a good movie. I'm just not sure I could really speak to it. So I'm glad I have it. I'm glad, once again, you chose that so that you could pave the way for my next pick. I'm going to shift gears a little.
Okay.
I think this movie is a romantic comedy that Harrison Ford is in, and that is 6 Days and 7 Nights. I love that movie. I thought that was a great movie. It's a great Anne Hesh, Harrison Ford. They have a great chemistry in this movie. He's a pilot. She's, on vacation. They crash land on like an island, and they have to survive together. And he's his super charismatic, sexy Harrison Ford, and Anne Hesh is her super cute bob cut girl. It's just such a great movie, and there's so many great moments. Like, I always think of the funny one when, like, she's like, I've only flown with you twice, and you've crashed both times, or you've crashed 50% of the time. Like, I mean, it's so great. Just great movie. He plays such a good character in it. I really enjoyed 6 Days and 7 Nights. So I'm went a little outside because there's like at least 3 or 4 other movies that you could pick, I think, that could have gone in this spot. But I think this is a beautiful romantic comedy that shows the true depth of Harrison Ford, which, again, remember, this is the category of Harrison Ford. Really just brings it home and just rounds out such a great picks. I mean, Star Wars, Fugitive, Air Force One, 6 Days and 7 Nights. I mean, just give me the crown already.
Okay. I'm very surprised because we talk about how we knew that those 2 Star Wars movies were going to probably pop up on these lists depending on who picked the other first. And I'm surprised because now you've left me with an obvious choice for my number 5 because I don't think we've justified a rule to this. I'm going Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I don't know why you wouldn't have picked that. It's just as good as Raiders in a lot of people's mind.
Oh, because we already did the Indiana Jones. I mean, geez, like
what are you talking about? Like
repeat.
You could have picked Return of the Jedi. I mean, come on, anything. I'm going. I want the votes. I want the votes.
You can pick Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, and you're choosing another Indiana Jones?
I thought about Clear and Present Danger, but I'm going to see if this move pays off because people like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Temple of Doom, the second one, is a good one, but people kind of, I don't know, people are kind of back and forth on that one. But you've got Harrison Ford playing opposite Sean Connery as his dad and the back and forth between them. Junior and Dad, come on. So, no, I'm taking the chance. I'm putting 2 Indiana Jones movies on my list because Joe foolishly didn't pick the other great Indiana Jones movie for his list.
Well, I'm going to get even more foolish because I'm not putting Clear and Present Danger, and I'm not putting those other movies. I'm going something crazy on mine, but we'll get to that in a second. Ryan is just on repeat. He's pulling the same Indiana Jones movies.
Maybe.
Star Wars. 3 of his 5 picks are the same movie, the same characters. I at least delved into his repertoire, and I'm going to pick as my number 5 pick an older Harrison Ford. I'm going to pick the movie 42, where he plays the owner of the Yankees who hires Jackie Robinson, who changes the landscape of baseball forever. Forever. And I'm going to bring in 42.
Oh.
A tremendous performance by Harrison Ford as the old man, Branch Rickey, who hires and brings in Jackie Robinson, and he fights for him, and he brings him to baseball. That is the difference. See, you could just pick the same movies over and over. I could have picked Star Wars, the Teddy Bear movie, but no, I chose to go. I chose to go a whole different direction and bring in something new, and I think that is worth some votes.
I don't know, man. I mean, if we were talking Harrison Ford's best performances, then I wouldn't even be able to pick Star Wars because you would have picked, okay, Han Solo's Taken. So we're not really talking about the performance necessarily, the movie. And those are 2 good movies.
Look, the audience at the end of the day.
Yeah,
the audience at the end of the day is choosing. It's not between you and me, because if it was me, I clearly won. Oddly enough, considering this is Harrison Ford. Although you did have Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Blade Runner, Witness, and I mean, you have some good movies.
He's never seen Blade Runner. He's never seen Witness. He doesn't know what I'm surprised you've seen The Fugitive. I was thinking, oh God, he's seen that. Are you kidding me?
Fugitive is a phenomenal movie.
It is, but there's a lot of phenomenal movies that you haven't seen because you don't watch movies.
He kills his wife and then gets framed, or he gets framed for killing his wife and then has to clear his name. I mean, that is cinema. I'm gonna go first since Ryan picked first.
Okay.
I got Star Wars. Fugitive, Air Force One, 6 Days and 7 Nights, 42. I picked a wide range of things that Harrison Ford has done. I put the best movies together that really showcases this amazing, prolific actor's career in one list of 5 movies. I mean, can you do really any better than that? I mean, you could choose the same movies over and over and over again, the same roles, same characters, or you could pick the best portfolio of his best 5 movies, and there is no doubt you only have one real choice here.
You know, my argument would be he's talking about all these great, wide range of performances, and yet he leaves off Indiana Jones when he could have put it on there. Like, I mean, it was right there. I mean, when Joe picked Empire Strikes Back, I gobbled Star Wars right up. I mean, it's a close second. They're neck and neck. And Raiders of the Lost Ark, Crusade, they're neck and neck. So I picked The Last Crusade just to showcase his ignorance in choosing Harrison. He left out Indiana Jones. That's silly. It doesn't, he deserves no votes.
Well, it's up to you guys at the end of the day. Leave a comment in the belows. Whose 5 movies are better, Ryan's or Joe's? And you know, you pick mine, I'll comment and respond. You pick his, he'll ignore you. But either way, either way, guys, we really, really do appreciate it. You know, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we're excited to continue. If you're new here and you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. We're going to continue to do these movie drafts. We're going to do blind movie rankings. We're doing guess the movie shorts. We're going to watch movies occasionally, and we're still doing we're going to focus on podcasts. We have a lot of fun things planned for this channel, but guys, we really are excited. Throw up those thumbs, leave a comment below, tell us who you think won, and if we missed any obvious choices for this movie, we'd love to hear it. But guys, thank you so much for coming along. I got nothing else other than to say vote for Joe, and cheers.
Fuck Joe. Cheers.
I love it. That's a good ending right there. I love it.